Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. If you were sitting around this week trying to figure out what you were going to do this Saturday, September 16th, well, look no further. We have all kinds of activities going on in Sylacauga and Childersburg. We have litter pickup, our monthly litter pickup for the Beautification Council. We're meeting at Sylacauga City Hall at 8 a.m. and we are going to head down Broadway toward Noble Park and do some litter pickup. If we have enough volunteers, we might work on the Cherokee Garden Club's garden that's right there at the corner of Broadway and 4th next to City Hall. And then you can go from there and go by Tractor Supply in Childersburg. They're having a Pet Appreciation Day, and it is from 9 to 1. And we are going to be able to have some animals there for adoption. So a lot of our foster cats will be there from our foster system with Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. And these cats have all of their shots. They're all fixed. They are good to go. And the cat adoptions are $75. And we hope to have at least Wrigley and Kimberly. Their pictures are up there on the screen. They are two of our dogs from the shelter, and they both are ready for adoption also. They're up to date on their shots. They are heartworm negative. They've been fixed. Kimberly has been in foster, so they are dogs that we know really well, and we walk every Saturday, and they are available and will be ready to go to a good home that day. And from there, if you want to go to the shelter, of course, we have our weekly shelter walk, and you can meet this dog. This is Lucas. We'll be there walking dogs Saturday from 11 to 1. And Lucas has been at the shelter a little over a year now. He's about 3 years old, and we have decided to make him our available pet of the week because we would love to see him go to a great home. He has been at Meredith Dempsey, for the love of dogs. So she is a pet trainer and also a boarder, and so he has had an opportunity to get some training, and he is such a wonderful dog that we use him at the shelter for dog testing. So he gets along with every dog, and he just is a handsome boy and ready to go to a home. He's also heartworm negative like Wrigley and Kimberly, and he is up to date on his shots. So please come out to meet Lucas, or if you know anyone that would like to have a dog, suggest Lucas for us, because we want to get him out of that shelter and get him to his home. Now we'll go ahead and get to our special guest today. I have Miss Abigail Heitch here. Abigail is a student at Jeff State. She also works for an estate sale company and a vintage company out of Birmingham. So we've got some really cool things we can talk to Abigail about. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're working.
My name is Abigail Heitch. I work out of Birmingham, Alabama. I work for Birmingham Vintage Company and Hannah Estate Services, which is an estate sale company. I kind of teeter between the both of them. I love them equally, and they're really fun.
So tell us more with the estate sale company. What happens with estate sales?
So our primary goal with working with estate sales is making the most money possible for our client and just overall having the best outcome possible. We first go through and we kind of just delegate everything, see what you want to keep, see what you want to get rid of, and we go from there. And we really just kind of go through that, organize everything, we stage it, we make it look very nice. We're very professional, and we start taking pictures. We set up a date, we put it on estatesales.net, and then we kind of go from there.
How complicated is that to figure out what you have and what it's worth and those sorts of things? Because that's a lot of things you have to go through, I'm sure.
It is a lot of things to go through. Thankfully, I work with, or actually my bosses, the people that I work for, are very, very experienced. They are both licensed appraisals, so they have had a lot of experience with doing that, and which I'm still learning the ropes. I don't know everything about it, but it's a really cool learning experience.
I bet it is.
Because you'll have items that it's like, it looks the same, standing next to one another, but then you start comparing, and then oh, because of this it's more expensive, or because of this time period, they only made so many. So it really does, the variables kind of depend on how much everything costs.
I bet you do learn so much working under the two people that have been doing it so long and
Absolutely.
Seeing all the things that you see. Now, with that said, with the vintage company and the estate sale company, do anything stand out that are quite interesting that you've been able to experience or see, or just any interesting items that you found?
I think some of my favorites have to be linens.
Okay.
I think linens. Working for a vintage company and getting to go through and find antique linens and stuff, and you start looking through it and you're like, oh my gosh, like somebody handmade this. And actually working at Hannah Antiques, which is an antique store downtown, like restocking our linen booth and everything like that, people who are experienced in that craft will come in. And I recently met a woman who tats. Do you know what tatting is?
No, I do not.
It's very intricate. It looks like, it's like lace, but it's like wrapped around itself.
Okay.
Almost. So it's like a string and then it's wrapped around itself, and then you can make tons of designs. It's incredibly intricate, and it's literally like thread. Like they are doing everything with thread. And so I would go blind doing it. But like I was so impressed. She was explaining like how she got into it and like why she does it. And she's like, I just really love carrying on that tradition. Like it's just really something special for her to carry on. And looking back over like decades of lace and looking back at antique lace, like you really start to understand like there are patterns that don't exist anymore just because it was that time, you know, and like that's not something that we necessarily do in today's day. And so it's just a very interesting thing to see all of the different kinds of lace and like how they did it. And it's just like, that's bizarre because I mean, literally to do a square this big, it would probably take 25 years for me.
And that's something that most people don't even think about. And I would have never thought there are different patterns that are no longer around. And that's nice. There are people that kind of keep that craft going because you hate to see these different skills lost.
You do.
So, even though it'd be hard to do them and hard to learn how to do it.
Oh my goodness. I don't even understand the pattern to it, actually. There's some people have figured it out somehow. And there are some people like they can look at like a square of lace and be like, oh, that makes sense. And I'm like, those are just intricate knots. You can't tell me anything different.
Now, you see some very interesting things with your work. You've met some very interesting people, it sounds like. But you also said that there are a couple of cats that live at your office.
Yes, there are.
So let's talk about those cats and your cats too. So let's discuss the cats at the office.
Okay, so my cat's name is Winona.
Well, there's your cat. There's Winona right there on the
That is
screen.
Winona. She's so fun. She's very vocal. I also realized, like, after I got her, well, the shelter that we got her from, they said that her tail got caught in a trap,
Okay.
and that's why she has a bobtail.
Okay.
I personally think that she's a Manx,
Okay.
but I haven't gotten her DNA tested, but I'm pretty sure she's a Manx. She has the face shape for a Manx, like the tail, the attitude. She has a lot of attitude.
She's a beautiful cat.
She is. She's so fun, and
How old is she?
she just turned 2.
Okay.
Yeah, she just turned 2. So she's still a baby.
Well, yes, she's your baby for
Yes,
sure.
she's so funny.
Now you've got your cat. Did you grow up with animals?
I
you?
did. I
And
grew
so-
up with a lot of animals.
So did you grow up with cats and dogs, or
Cats, dogs, chickens, goats, rabbits.
So do you think
lot.
you'll get other? There's another picture of Winona. Do you think you'll get other pets eventually, or you have your one cat kind of girl?
I think eventually she's a little bit of a diva.
Okay.
But I mean, cats are just divas. So
Yeah.
I think eventually another cat, or maybe I want a big dog
Okay.
one day. I don't know how she'll like that, but
She will probably rule the big dog.
probably.
From what I've experienced with cats.
Probably.
She'll take care of the situation, I'm sure.
Yes.
Now, tell me more about the cats at the office. You had an interesting story about one of the cats.
Yes. So at my office that I work at, my boss Mary, she has 2 cats. Buddy, who is a Garfield, and then we have Lucky, who she's the younger of the 2. Unfortunately, she's missing right now. She's
Okay.
missing on like day 5.
Oh
But
gosh, I hope they find
she's
her.
a little bit of a rebellious gal.
Okay.
So she's a hoodlum. She goes out, parties, and then she comes home.
Okay.
But yeah, we were sitting in the office one day, and my boss, we're typing on the computer, we're doing some eBay stuff, and she's like trying to write some emails, and Lucky just keeps getting on the desk. Okay, which it's a little annoying. You're trying to do something, you're really busy, the cat keeps getting on there, but she just wants attention. She's a little anxious. And then my boss just picks her up and starts holding her and petting her. And she's like, I read somewhere that if you just pick them up and hold them and give them attention for 60 seconds, minimum, just consistently, that like it reduces their anxiety. And I was like, that's so fun because it reduces my anxiety.
Absolutely.
And I recently found out that it's not that hard to have an ESA license in the state of Alabama. And it's just like, I feel like shelter animals are a really good place to find them.
Absolutely. And we've had some, over the last year, I've had a couple of people on talking about that very thing, that it's so important to have some kind of relationship with animals. And it's very important for kids to learn a lot of empathy and for anxiety to be around animals. So it's really nice to experience that. And even when you come out walk dogs on a Saturday, for people that don't have animals, maybe they can't have them, they live in an apartment or something, it's nice to have that opportunity to come out and walk dogs at the shelter and to pet cats. There are cats at the shelter as well. Or to go by PetSense here in Sylacauga. We have cats that are regularly there for adoption, and they need interaction. And so if it can calm you, it's nice to go in there and go and pet them and to calm the kitties down too.
Absolutely.
And so you saw that firsthand.
Absolutely, yeah. No, companionship especially is just, it's very healthy.
Absolutely.
It's a very healthy thing. And something with emotional support animals and just animals in general, like they're so tuned in to people's emotions, like things that like you wouldn't even think of. Like they really do like pay attention to your breathing, and like if there's a change in breathing. My brother has an emotional support dog, actually 2 of them.
Okay.
And they are both so wonderful. One of them is trained, one of them is in training. But Baxter, who is the elder of both of them, he is absolutely fabulous. And it's like, if literally anyone in the room is really upset, it's like he just kind of goes over there. He's not like smothering you, but he just wants to stand next to you and be like, hey, I got you.
Yeah.
Which is just,
And that's great.
nice.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Another living, breathing being notice that you need some help
And
and
you're
come
like, hey,
over.
I got you.
Yeah. Now, with the training, did they find that was Baxter just a dog that automatically was like that, or was it fairly easy to train?
Yeah, he's a golden doodle. A lot of people were like, oh my goodness, I thought he was going to be so wild. But he's very tame.
Okay.
He's a very chill dog. I appreciate that. He just kind of moseys, but he was right off the bat. He was just already in tune with my brother. They got along great. They actually look very similar. I wish that we had a picture to show you because they look very similar. But they get along so well. And with anyone, he gets along well. And babies, he loves babies so much, especially when babies cry. He's like, no, please don't cry. Stop. Because it just breaks his heart. He's like, no, no, don't cry.
Yeah.
He's like, I love you, no, stop.
Well, certainly people hearing these stories, we hope that more people will come out and meet the dogs at the shelter. We have a lot of wonderful dogs there, and they could be like Baxter, for sure. And so it'd be wonderful to have you come out this Saturday. I know I've already got everybody's Saturday planned, but remember we've got a litter pickup if you want to participate in that at 8 a.m. at City Hall, and then the Pet Appreciation Week, but we're having the day there at Tractor Supply so that you can come and meet some dogs and cats that are available. And then every Saturday at the shelter, we walk dogs from 11 to 1, and you can meet some of these wonderful dogs that could help you emotionally. But thank you so much, Abigail, for coming on the show, and come back on sometime. We'll talk more about,
Absolutely.
and we'll have a picture of your brother and his dog.
Yes, he would love that.
And we've got all these announcements up at the end here, and don't forget Lucas is available for adoption, and we have more Daybreak after these messages.